All right. Today I want to talk a little bit about something that's kind of been bugging me for a while, and I just want to talk about it. Mainly, it's whites and how they seem like to be like depressed, and which they do. They have a lot of problems. So mainly, I want to talk about a bit about that, and how whites actually came to be where they are. Whites are everywhere. So you just can't say that whites are just inhabitant of a certain area, which is not, which they are not. They're everywhere, and they have been everywhere for thousands of years. So they just didn't originate in Europe. I mean, that's just that's just a ridiculous saying there. But whites are all over. Matter of fact, the Chinese, they got a problem with it because during some of their archaeological discoveries, they found out that the original inhabitant of that area, China, was white people. So they say, hey, how did white people? Because white people are really denoted to belongs to only Europe, which is totally not true. Well, anyway, just to kind of give you a little basics about white people. And now, in this 21st century, how did they come to be? Mainly because it was the rise of certain, people, certain groups of people who banded together, and they just started to mainly just, I want to use the word crusade, but they just started just taking over areas. And I think Genghis Khan and a lot of the Asian groups of people, so mainly Genghis Khan, I can't think of Constantine the Great. So it was a lot of people that came out of that particular eastern area, and they just started going west, and they took over a lot of area. Constantine the Great, he's probably one of the latest that come to go west and just started taking over area. I think it was the Roman Empire, and so a lot of the whites that are in Europe today came from the east, probably Genghis Khan and Constantine, and occupied that particular area, which they call Europe. If you look at Europe today, it's a really small area. There's a lot of small countries, not really large, except for Russia in that particular area up there. But I don't want to get too much into detail about the group of people which they're calling white, because like I said, they're spread out over, they're all over the world. So mainly a lot of the whites, which was a lot of research done, that a lot of whites originated out of what the country today is called India. So as today, if you go back there today, you'll find that a lot of the whites there are still there today. But whites are not really per se just in that particular area, because I don't want to use the word freak of nature, but that just happens, you know. A lot of the whites just come to be because that's the way of the world, you know. That's how I guess you use the word God, how God wanted things to be, and God, you know, created it. So with that said, as the whites eventually moved and took over more area, but as whites move and they take over certain areas, and I think they kind of lose what they sense of, I guess, belonging. So you're constantly moving around. You're just not in one particular area where you can, like, I guess, nurture yourself, you know, and grow mentally. That I think that whites are, you know, they're having problems. So they just not stuck in one particular area. But as in Europe, most of the whites, we use the word whites, but anyway, most of the people that was in Europe for probably hundreds of years, probably more, they was mainly slaves. In Constantine the Great enslaved all of Europe. He was a Roman general, so all the people that was enslaved, so they didn't have any, like, too much freedom. So that was, I think, today, as the whites, the whites of today, I think they're gonna have problems, because, you know, they've been enslaved, and well, mainly they was enslaved for Europe for probably hundreds of, probably 1,000 or so years there because of Constantine the Great. But now I think eventually the whites are going to have to, you know, try to stabilize themselves in some type of way where they can eventually grow culturally and mentally. And I guess use the word spiritually too.